सबको मेरा नमस्कार. This is International Master and FIDE Senior Trainer Sekhar Sahu welcomes you on behalf of Sports Authority of Gujarat and Gujarat State Chess Association to this intermediate training session. So today I will be covering some tactical positions and also some important middle game theme. I mean planning and counter planning, how to make initiative, how to rebut the opponent's plan. I will discuss some opening ideas also from classical games of strong grandmasters and masters. To start with, warm up. Just now, black has played rook to e8. Rook to e8. So, white's reasonable move, he should move the queen or cover the file with a knight. So, what is your choice? Welcome Ramakrishnan, Basal Parikh, Sritu Nandi, and Khanak, Om Desai, all are welcome. So, you have a choice to move the queen from the D file, or cover with knight e5. What you are going to do? Knight e5. Now, active move. After you move queen to d2, there is no initiative. So, after queen d2, he will play pawn to h6 and bishop d6. Everything is okay. Knight e5 is more active. The position, in my opinion, is equal. Chances are equal. It is not a draw. The chances are equal. Okay. So, knight e5 is a good move. How should black play now? For your better vision, maybe I will flip the board. How should black play now? White has just played knight e5. What should black do? Hello, Birabhadra Singh. One second. Okay. Birabhadra Singh says c5. No, 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 not the best move. Birabhadra, you have to think carefully. Just we have to play with responsibility. Not the best move. Try again. Parth Kuntal Rawal, welcome. Ramakrishna says knight f8. Still, there is a better move. There is better move. Veerabhadra Singh says the threat is you have to, yes, now you say now there is a threat. So before playing c5, you should have taken c5 is bad. knight into f7 will come. This is the point. Now knight comes here. There is a threat here. So you have to chess. You have to be responsible. You must immediately focus. Don't play casual mechanical moves. Now, for example, now this is the correct. Giving three attacks. One, two, three, attacking this. So black will play f4. It is equal. Now you drive the bishop. The position is just equal. So the correct move, the threat is here, knight into pawn. You have to notice these threats. तो ये जो है अभी 95 आया तो थ्रेट है तो ब्लैक प्लेड कैजुअल मूव अभी वन आया तो नाइट इंटू मार दिया गेम खत्म गेम इज ओवर एक छोटा सा गलती खत्म हो गया आफ्टर बिशप d6 इक्वल पोजीशन केयरलेस h6 नाइट इंटू अभी कुछ नहीं इक्विवेलेंट डबल अटैक क्या डिस्कवर अटैक डबल चेक ये बेट हो जाएगा नाइट इंटू एंड नाइट स्मॉदर्ड मेट अगर आप ये खेलो कुछ भी खेलो इधर आप जो भी करो दिस इज गॉन सपोज यू प्ले नाइट e5 तो डबल चेक क्वीन इंटू इट इज खत्म pawn into you will need to what situation anyway so he comes but then this is finished no answer bishop into f6 खत्म हो जाएगा so you cannot play knight e5 you play king f8 that also runs out to mate only pawn into queen checkmate and if you play pawn into bishop checkmate so a player should be vigilant in the opening stage also अभी आपको क्या करना चाहिए था सिंपल बिशप डी6 इक्वल now third attack you have to give and after that you can play this you can play this but better drive this this should be equal this is also equal but played this careless move and lost immediately okay so let me go to some positions now what you see you need to calculate variations in our memory there are a lot of diagrams so now when I'm asking you you are not losing a game you are giving answer because okay so what okay I make a mistake and I will have another chance to talk or sir will tell this is the this you cannot do you must play with responsibility every position every casual game also you take seriously when you are playing a game you have to see threat and counter threat basically you need to understand the plan of the opponent plan okay let me take you to the position let me take you to a position hello tanmay ajmera okay which opening in this is this position from okay that is not important I just gave you a position let us see another game let's see am I here hello Kishore Naidu for sure it is king pawn okay so this position I mean this can lead to if you play this d5 it is called Catalan it will be Catalan and now if you play knight c3 it will be Nimzo Indian so this this becomes now Bogo Indian Bogo means Boguljo Bogo Indian defense basically white stands little better in Bogo Indian okay so more to the point here bishop into the other alternative is to play queen so that queen comes here and the second alternative a5 this is also good Here, more correct move is to play queen e7 and this. But anyway, it is a choice of players. 7 to, maybe it is better to play queen in. But his grandmaster want to because the queen into will give a choice to bring the knight to c3. The position it is equal. Now what happens? Black has given the exchange the dark square. So black is trying to put all the pawns in dark square so that the bishop is free. This is Capablanca said, if you have a white square bishop, put your pawns in the black. Oh. Vice versa. Now d5. White has got some space, but black is comfortable. Black wants to play a5, bring the knight to c5. The point is, if he will play knight e7, it will not be so good now. It is unlike King's Indian defense. There is attack for black. There is no such attacking possibility here. The queen will be path will be blocked, and it is not great here. That's why black played the more correct move, knight. Idea. The plan is if you bring the knight to a6 and knight c5, then b4 will come. B4 will come. So makes sure that no b4. Idea knight a6 and knight c5 with a reasonable fight. White is treating the game like King's Indian, portion of a main line. Now White is treating the queenside activity with rook c1, c5. The position is opening has turned out to equal. Black wants to go for the break on the king side sometimes, and maybe he wants looking for counterplay. Black is looking for counterplay. Very solid, defending the center very solidly. Now White realizes the knight is the one doing nothing. The knight belongs. That is the reason in the opening stage I said I recommended queen into d2 and knight c3. If you remember, in the opening stage I told he should have captured queen d2 and d2. Now the knight is misplaced, so he regroups the knight. Very well played. Black is slightly better here. The position, I would say, black chances are little better. The problem is the dark squares. The main problem, the dark squares. So if you try to close, then the bishop becomes bad. Now, white played king h1 so that any kind of surprise check on the long diagonal. Any question? Welcome, Swam Das Prem Chawda. Now the point is the dark squares are problem. The any moment the queen can come with some threats. So he decided to go away. This is the reason, that two moves white has wasted. He should not have done. Okay, bishop d4. The point is the knight is unprotected. If you take queen into, then the counterplay comes. Into b2, then again queen b6 will enter. So well played by the young girl from Russia migrated to America, Irina Cruz. Very talented player. Now counterplay. So it is not a good idea to take like this. Then there is some pressure will come on the b5. The rook will reach 7th rank, the pressure. But you don't have, this is not forced. Black has already done the damage. I think this is, the desire to attack does not. The position is no more attacking, and white should have satisfied with equal chances pawn into pawn and rook d2. White should have played now pawn into pawn, rook d2, and try to put pressure. and black will play some queen move, then rook move or rook move with equal chances. But instead of that, white is insisting because white is a grandmaster and black is not a title player or not so strong compared. So white is more ambitious. So Grandmaster Michalewski from Israel tried to push matter, push the thing. Not so good. The idea, the knight, if you push this pawn, the knight will come to center. This is the whole idea. So finally, white decided to take, and now black has a good counterplay. He wants to now play. Then why did you play h4? There was no need. There was no need to play h4. You could have played directly. But white is having a dream. Someday I will come back. But this has weakened the king position unnecessarily. Okay. So before the rook doubles, he comes over here. Now rook comes to defend. This is a critical moment. You must notice now the pawn is protected. Now pawn is attacked and white has got protection. Black. So black's plan. What is the black plan? Next job, black wants to come here and then bring the knight. And after that, he will concentrate on the queen side. Once the knight is coming to d4, the pressure on d pawn is gone. Any question? No question. Now here the the point of black's plan to bring the knight to e6 and d4. So here he played f5. Now white has a plan. White plan is simple. White wants to pull the queen here and then start pushing the pawns. Maybe he will even bring the bishop here. I mean, he may bring the queen here. Next idea, queen e3, bf3. For example, the game, model game, I will say, he will play like this. Idea, he wants to get some kind of counter play on the queen side. Then he will play queen. Now, if you play like this, he will play here. Not allowing any activity. Pawn into pawn or pawn into pawn is not a good move. So, closed. Now, black may play some move like knight, maybe here. Maybe what can I do here? How I can get counterplay now? Maybe rd7. This is one possibility. And then maybe he can play here, queen coming here. Now maybe he will play some rook move. And now he will play g4, bishop f3. Idea, the rook will come and g5 will come. This is the plan. But here, what should black do? White has a ready-made plan to attack. I told you the variation. It looks dangerous. It looks dangerous. Because you exchange the pawn, it is very dangerous, and the two rooks will switch. The two rooks will switch quickly to the king side. So this is very important. What to do now? What to do now? I think this move, instead of playing this move, it is better that black could have played rook here. Why? We need to know what is the problem. This is a very important middle game theme I'm talking. Please pay attention. Ivan Visalsa, welcome. So what is the difference? Rook d8 and king h8. King h8 is one move and rd8 is one move. What is the difference? Can somebody visualize or think why rook d7 is better than king h8? What is the difference? I think I read this one article from one Hungarian book, I think, or maybe Panchenko, I'm not sure, that now all back row, it is not back row, it is not back row. Birabhadra, this is an important middle game thing. Now, White has only one plan. One plan that he wants to push the pawn bishop here because now the point is very much guarded. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So if there is this pawn is a backward pawn. He cannot advance. So White's plan is to play bishop f3, queen e3, and switch the rooks and attack. Then he will attack. That means this is the only plan White is having. Now the king will come. Where is the attack? Next move, I will bring the king. I will bring the king. I will bring the king. And I will bring the king and come. Where is the attack? I am going to come here. And what are you going to open for? It is black will take advantage of that. A very safe way to play. Right? You know, all these things, Petrosian is a master of all this art. Petrosian is a master. Or Immanuel Laskar. Petrosian, Immanuel Laskar, Victor Korsunay, Tartakov. These are the masters of defense. So, Maxiu. Now, scene of action is on the king side. So, suppose you play rook d7, you are making a road for the king. And now, opening the file, you will help black. The rook will come for attack later on. So, this is very interesting move to note that you can always play. And there is black side. I mean, the black squares are blocked. Why white has no white square, black square bishop, no pawn to dislodge the knight. I think this is perfectly fine. And maybe it is unclear, but I will prefer to black here because there is a bad bishop. The bishop plays no role. Hello, welcome, Mukund Agarwal. It takes king time to come to center. So what will you do here? You are not. It is not that by magic you will make from three moves. You have to prepare. You have to bring the bishop, bring the queen. Now to make the rook ready, you have to move the queen first. You have to move the bishop. You have to push 4 moves. You have got 4 moves to do. Without that, you can't do. So it takes time to king to center. It also takes time white to bring the rooks to g5. You need 4 moves to bring the rook to g line and आपको अभी क्वीन लाना है, रूक को रेडी बिशप लाना है, रूक g2, g4, g5, 5 मूव. Yeah, it is not center that he is worried about the g5. So black wants to go away from the opening of g line. So here queen e3. Go, both are playing as per the plan. So anyway, so here I mean this line here king h8. So both are playing for the plan. Now black has to do something. He finds out that there is a problem somewhere. Rook into pawn can come. Sometimes rook into pawn can come. This is counterplay possibility. So he goes away trying to organize. The plan is to come here and seal that weakness. The idea is to play c5, then bring the knight to c6 and cover that d5 weakness, d6 weakness. One of the plan. Now he realized this position. He changed the mind. Once again he comes. It is bishop waiting, waiting for him to do. But I will tell you here in this position, when you play king h8, queen here, it was better to play rook d7. Rook d7. What is this? Where did I go wrong? In cs6. So he's just waiting. But instead of playing, I think he waited enough. He waited enough here. He finally got the plan. Rook g8. I think in this position, probably here, Rook d7 is interesting. Now, for example, let us say what can you do? What can you do now? No, Rook g7 is interesting. Then what can white do now? Maybe a move like king here, waiting. Then Rook g8 will come. Maybe you will try to bring the knight. Then g5 can come. But there is a problem with g5 now. There is a problem with g5. The point is now pawn into pawn, rook into pawn. The structure is favorable for black. But there is a tactical problem. Queen into will come. This is the problem. This is the problem he is facing. Pawn into and the queen gets trapped. Now queen has no room. He has to go e8, f8, whatever, and the queen will be pinned. That is the reason g5 is not correct, leaving the back rank. So maybe here g6 is correct. What is the difference here? The difference is now he wants to take the pawn, and on pawn into pawn, this same variation does not work. Pawn takes pawn, I will play rook into. Now queen into is bad because takes, he has a room. He has a room. Still the same thing. Still the same thing is coming. Because this rook can come. Maybe bishop f3 is not there. Maybe bishop f3 is not there. Maybe in that line, bishop f3 will not be there. Okay, but this is a possibility I'm talking. But queen into knight, you have to watch out on this. Okay, I'm going to the game now. What has happened? He just waited for white to plan. Covered. Now the headache, the d6 weakness is covered by knight. And after that, I think only the whole focus will be on the king side, which is not dangerous. Now there are 3-4 at defense is there. You cannot, and if you play block, h6 will block. So there is no attacking plan. Mainly the bishop is playing no role. That is, in fact, it is a burden on white. You cannot allow the knight into pawn. So waiting for him. So white is insisting to do some activity because if you play rook here, this rook is redundant. So he plays rook g3 when all the rooks are working. Rook is doing a defense job. Waiting now what to do. Now black has to do something. This knight, if you move sometime, then he can have a plan of a break. Now this weakness is unapproachable easily. So he comes here. Finally, he decided to play triple. If you exchange it, it is bad. If you exchange, then there is problem. So because the G7 square, waiting. This is what has started problem and winning slowly. I would say that white insisted to force matters. Otherwise, he could have equalized early, but trying to win a drawn position one suffers. Now e4 point weakness, you know. Hello Suresh bhai, good morning. Yes, Birabhadra, it was Royce, but trying to force matters, it turns out badly. For example, such a situation was there in my game with IM Devi Prasad in New Delhi. Similar situation, the G file, he tried to force better and then he got into trouble. But in this game, I hope you understand the plan. It was when he played King H8, King H8. Here, I would say this is a safe way to play. Just Petrosian type, run away, run away, run away. कुछ नहीं होगा. You play bishop f3, king. Now you play g4, king. Now you cannot play. You have to come the king. Now rook g1, then king. Everything is okay. There is no danger. Sorry, king. I'm sorry, king. Everything is solid. Even Petrosian can defend this way also sometimes. That is why I say that this is a theme running away from the scene of action when the attack is the typical Sicilian play. I'm going to the next position now. Now, not a good move. Not good move. This kind of stone wall is wrong way to play. I recommended to you that in this position, white should play pawn into pawn, and after pawn into pawn, bishop f4 is advantage. Advantage to white. I just told few days back. Then e3. Even if you play here, I will play this, allowing this double pawn because I will have an outpost. After you take, there is an outpost for the knight. This is absolutely good for white because if bad bishop and you have a good bishop and you have an outpost for the knight. Good position. This knight will come someday or someday the knight will enter here. So this is the best way to play against this kind of setup. Just take and play bf4. But let me tell you, if a player plays casually, how he gets into trouble. The center of black is good. So he played here e3. Bad move. दिशा बदल जाता है. One move changes the entire direction of the game. Now white black will have a free hand for attack. And Nasdorf was a great attacking player, great tactician. Knight. He now realizes this is doing nothing here. The knight is only ornamental. He has to because nowhere to plan. So he wants to bring to king side. So he also plays plan to bring the knight here and the knight coming to this point. After that, the attack will follow. Typical queen will come, g5 will come, this queen will come for attack. g5, g4 and attack will come. So knight g5, bad move. The idea, now the point is he says the pawn is under attack. How are you going to? You defend the pawn, I will play f4. Suppose black will make a passive. Suppose. Defends. Now f4. I think it is very difficult. The position once again, white is quite okay. So white is little better because this bishop has somewhat more life. This is a bad bishop, but come se come, a bishop ko he can play bishop d2. No. He can play bishop d2 or may want exchange in the diagonal after a4 b3. What about this bishop? Now this bishop is comparatively better than that. So here Nasdorf plays a fine variation. Find out how did Nasdorf continue. सर क्रूस ज्यादा पड़ता वेट कर नहीं कर लिया क्रूस ज्यादा पड़ता yeah. What should black do now? The variation when you attack the pawn, you have to be vigilant about captures, checks, and some counter attacking possibilities. So this attack is bad and white suffers now. Please find out. Find out. Welcome, Adi Jain. No, it is not a choice. यहाँ पे मेट होगा. You see the whole variation के position I told you यहाँ दिशा बदल गया. मेट हो जाएगा. अभी all these pieces, this everything will work. Even this is working now. This is the whole idea that because of the passive move E3, पूरा का पूरा bad है. Did she play knight a6, knight c5 many times? She could have tried to improve the position, taking about Christian. Oh, you are talking of the old last game. Okay. Now the point is, now in this position, Nasdaq launches a brilliant attack. A brilliant attack. Knight, bishop. If you take it, knight check will pick up the g5 knight. So, anyway, knight, ignoring the threat of exchange. There is no time. There is no time. Queen h4 will kill. This is just finishing the game. So, there is no time. Only now, queen. You want to enter h5. I think it is a disaster. It is a disaster. The king has to run. Beautifully played. This is in a puzzle book. You will find these games in puzzle books. Now attack. Okay. So you have to take the knight. There is no choice. You come there, then these checks are coming. So bishop into pawn threat you cannot defend. आप इसको डिफेंस ही नहीं आ रहा है तो मारना पड़ेगा. तो check. Now I want to see how to exploit the bad king situation. This is in a puzzle book. Abhi now these pieces will work. You calculate this variation. You calculate pawn e5 to open up the game. Pawn e5, e4 threat आएगा. Correct, correct. Veerabhadra Singh, correct. So pawn e5. I want to open the punish the king. Only move. There is hardly any defense. Only move. Check. Only move. Check. Only move. What to do now? What to do now? The king taking a walk in the garden. King taking a walk. Now he will repeat like now open further. You open the game further. Now this check will lead to a draw. Further open. Now the king is anyway caught. The queen is watching the squares. So now the bishop is coming here. The bishop is coming. So he took, bishop comes. The point is you are forced to take the bishop and now I want to clear the rook's line to control the squares. So knight check. मारना पड़ेगा. Pawn checkmate. The whole point is here. I will tell you. ये जो है दिशा बदल जाता है. ये जो है here I tell you this position variation is bad for black after pawn into bishop f4 definitely better. Now e3 the position is only now not winning, it is only equal. But now where is the mistake he goes? c6 I think it's okay here. This is okay. This is here I believe that now okay this is okay I cannot criticize. This is also good. Okay. Here you should not play this. There is a way out. The position is not that bad. Black has castle. Black has a good center. There is nothing wrong. So Now maybe black should have played this move theoretically, but okay, this is okay. But white's move is unjustified. Unjustified. Now what should white do now? One mistake does not lose. White has made some mistake, but it does not mean that it is lost. What can you do now? के बाद वो लाइन ही बंद हो गया होगा वो लाइन ये लाइन अभी कोई खेलता नहीं है ऐसा because I told you that modern players simply don't play bad refuted lines. Now the correct move you should take pawn into pawn because pawn into pawn will lose a pawn and after the pawn there is C line for operation. Come से come. Now you should play maybe next move idea bishop to coming here then queen coming here and try to exchange the bishop. Next move, I will play bd2. Idea, queen b3, rook c0. No, there is life. I will bring the rook in here. With the idea, rook will come. With the idea, bishop will exchange. This is a game. But this irrational, bad move, But we learn from this game. I cannot say that all these are horrible. But by seeing the games, we learn that one bad move followed by another bad move. Now he gets crushed. We should get alert about this point. This point here. Okay. But don't you think didn't means ये जो है theme this is how to attack queen here king. This is lovely. You have to accept e3 point check. You have to come and he exploited it brilliantly. It is in a puzzle book. If you search in a combination book, the diagram will come. e5 knight into take knight check here. Another open take bishop check knight check. All right. Now, Nadav, I want to show some more game. Albin Paninek was actually he was a very dangerous player. He could do like Nesmet, he could do anything. He could give material at any time. Very dangerous player. Basically, he was working in a cycle mart. You know, he was a very poor family. So he was making his living by cycle repairing. And at night, he used to go and play chess. But he was very talented, and he became a grandmaster. He made more money in chess than his cycle mark. But that time his time was already run out. But a great player, Planinek. So now e6 here. Now the theoretical line castle. This is here. No, this is the correct castle. And then he will play rook e1, then b5. All these things are known to theory. Idea bb7, idea b4. These are all known to theory. KB1, all these things. Anyway, but instead of playing this, he played this bad move h6. One should avoid weakening the castle position. One should not do this. Queen s3. Preventing the bishop and also you know, gunning against this. Want to sacrifice any time. So stops that. Now brings the rook. Idea, he wants to play now e5. The standard, typical central thrust against the main line of Sicilian Nasdaq. This is bad. Already he has been outplayed. Now Black wants to give a threat on the bishop. So the king is now caught in the center. That means White has to open up the game. So Abhi, you can move this or you can play e5. So better to play because piece for piece, pound for pound. Hmm? What is this? Nazar could have been world champion, but he faced that tragedy That was said. No, the tragedy was, you know, when the Second World War broke out, Najdorf was in Poland. He had gone to Poland to play an international when the World War whole the communication stopped, transportation stopped. So he could not return to Poland. He was stuck in Poland, and there was bombardment, all this thing, and he lost his wife and daughter. I mean, he tried to search, and even he gave a 30 board blindfold simultaneous, so that the news will, the whole thing will be in newspaper. If wife is daughter alive, they will contact. He played 30 boards simultaneous blindfold to make a world record that time, so that the news will go. If the daughter is wife is alive, they will contact, but could not. So they had already lost. I mean, they died in that World War II bombardment. He settled in Poland. I mean, sorry, Argentina, not Poland, Argentina. Nasdorf was from Poland, but he was stuck in Argentina, and he remained lifelong there. But he could not become world champion. Nasdorf was a great player. He was in top 20, top 10 like that. Because he's, to become a world champion, you have to be good in defense, good in all opening theory, good in end game, good in all kind of psychological duel, physical fit, all these things counts. So it is not that easy. He was a great talented player. So here, if idea you take my piece, I will open up. The exchange of pieces will open up line for the white rook. Take, take. So the result has become now the material has been practical. Pieces are equal, but this has become more dangerous. More dangerous. So how should you play now? Now naturally you will bring the pieces into the game in tempo. Now this move is possible, but then he will play queen. Okay, you play knight here, you will play queen. What are you going to do now? What will white do now? Nasdorf won all 30 boards. I think he had a record. Maybe he won. Might have lost one game and couple of draw. He won remaining games. Nasdorf visited Mumbai. Two top Mumbai players. They took him in a boat to an island. In that boat, half an hour journey, he beat both of these players simultaneously blindfold. Two strong players of Maharashtra. He beat simultaneous blindfold. He had visited Mumbai. Okay. What should white do now for attack? Hmm. Hello, Mahidoshi. Good morning. Parvat Thakkar, welcome. White has got all good pieces. You need to increase the radius. You need to put more pressure. For example, now you see this rook is well placed. The queen is well placed. The knight is well placed. Now that means I need to pressure this rook in the queen's position. How do you utilize this? For example, if you play bishop, now I can play knight here. I can move the knight. The whole point is one of the piece, the rook's radius against the queen is now more open. So played this. What else? You cannot give me the rook. You played this. Now knight f5. You can see the two pieces was moved. This has become more dangerous now. This is more dangerous now. Whatever you do, it is a problem. Now the position you can't play bishop d7. Knight check will kill. Neither can you play b5. Then nd6 check will come. Queen into d6, and d6 check will come. Queen d6, knight f6 check. So you cannot now push this. You cannot develop this. So black tried this. Even this is leading to worse. Whatever you do, threat will come. Now threat has come. So he comes king, but then it is all wind up finish. Knight into, and he resigns because after queen into, queen check should finish. Mate हो जाएगा. You come here, mate. Knight into, and then d8 mate. The whole point is, this move. A player should get idea making a move like this. Everything is changing to open the further line. And also, I would say the main mistake is this. This is the main mistake. This is the main mistake. You should not have played this. These are the bad moves. Bad moves. I would not. I would say dubious move. Not sorry. I would say dubious move. Now the whole idea, you want to go like this, that go to work variation. This is go to work variation. Pawn into, the knight comes here. But that time the bishop was there. When bishop is here, this is a different variation. That is also bad for black, but this turns out to be bad. You know, you can play knight here, etc. This is a line you can play. But after queen s3 and c5, this is just bad. So such moves a player should avoid. For example, Petrosian Spassky, the last match game of 1969. The h6 move. Because of that, he got into trouble. Okay. So I will go to another Najdorf game. Another variation of the Najdorf. Yeah. Okay. This is actually a solid line. Basically, the main idea is to play bishop d3 and castle knight f3 and queen coming here to attack. This is the plan. The main idea, suppose you play e6, this is one line, bishop d3. Now b is 7. Now castle. Okay, queen coming here is bad because the bishop check is there. So you castle. And now maybe you can play king h1 here one move. So getting out of all problem. But you can play also knight f3. Now he can play move like maybe he will play move like nc6. Now queen e1. These are the things. The queen will come. A standard plan of attack. The queen coming here to prepare bd2 and rook d1 will come. This is a plan that white follows. But here the other plan, black can go directly. Both are okay. So after e5, naturally I will exchanging the pawn is to getting nothing. So this is knight f3 is coming. The same idea bd3 and all will come. This is taking a lot of time and strengthening the center. So white is not worried about this. Center will be strong and c5 will use. So you need not fear. Now you can take the pawn directly, or you can wait for a move because you take the pawn, some complication can come. So white plays king h1. The pawn cannot be defended. You can't play move like that, and you can't play like this sort of move. These are all bad moves. So knight. White stands a little better. Little better. Now bishop e3. The bishop is doing nothing here at the moment. So you want to regroup the bishop to d4. Idea now I want to regroup the bishop to the center. Development complete. Now action will start. White has completed all the development and now ready for activity. Idea, he wants to play knight g4. Now bishop g6, then knight f5 is actually a good position for white. Little better. I would say white stands little better. Next move, I am going to play bishop to d4 and double the rooks on the f line. But in this position, not a good move. Not good move. Now, that's the diagram. The time has been wasted and white has got a big initiative now. Must capture. The position is plus minus. Not now it is good because how many pieces in attack? You know, one, two, three, four pieces in attack. The king, Now this is under attack and this is also not well placed. The position is bad. Okay, I will say the queen moves. What would you do now? Hello Ramakrishna, how are you? What should white do? The rook is watching the knight. Bishop can come here. So sack. Now f6 target. The bishop d4 is there. So this is a very clear cut thing. I mean Kasparov did in his game with Parthis when his pieces were active, knight into g7, completely destroying. Now the temporary. Now don't agitate because initiative. If you wait, the defense will come. If you wait like that, the knight e5 will come. So don't give time. You cannot play slowly. Planning the knight e5 aa jayega. So take it now. I think it's over. Now the threat is queen g5, picking up the piece with a disaster. So only you have to stop queen g5 at any cost, winning the game because it is not that whole point is queen for two rooks, but the king is exposed and pawns are weak. Queen for two rooks are good. The rooks have no file. Black rook has no file to attack, and also his king is exposed. So this is very easily win. Idea now queen into pawn and threat. So he plays king. Now the point is after you have got a winning position, never relax. I used to do that. Once I got a winning position, then I say now it is a matter of time. Just चार पांच move खत्म हो जाए. ये गलती मत करना. Because अभी ये position now you have a choice. The bishop is attacked, so you can come back or you can take. If you take it, then the problem will come. The rook will come here, and now the rook into pawn. Whatever you do, this rook into bishop, you cannot take it. So winning position, don't get carried away. So you come back. Now push enough. Now you can if you go back, I'm coming back to bishop to d3. Fantastic. So winning position, don't relax. Okay. Now you should play actively, not bishop takes pawn, but b4, and it is winning position. All over, all over. Nothing. Play a pawn, simply unstoppable, unstoppable. So what is the mistake black is doing here? The position I will tell you. All Nansdorf is very complicated. Maybe it is better to play queen c7. Do not allow the bishop to come many times. This is better supporting the pawn. So queen c7 is a more scientific way to play. And now maybe you will play bishop d3. And now I will play something like g6. There is no bishop coming now. Now castle, bishop g7. This position is okay because the bishop is now will have always some activity. This is how you should play. Now you can play nd7, you can play h6, castle. The position is okay for black. But opening the game is bad. Like here, pawn into pawn, it is bad. Giving a very easy plan for white. Welcome, Prince Gandhi. Okay. Black to play and win. I flip the board. Black to play and win. Find out. Hello, Goenka. Good morning. Yes, the answer is quick. The answer is quick and correct. The answer is correct. Bishop into. Not giving any time. And now Rook G3. Cannot take. It is a mate. And also, if you place to defend, then now the rook turns. He will defend. There is no other. Bishop is not able to join. Only move. But then after that, it is hopeless. Hopeless. He cannot do anything. The next threat, I want to play pawn push and then rook check, and I want to bring bishop here. After pawn push, bishop f4 is coming and rook g2 is coming. Hopeless position. B2 will also not work. This is finished. So very well played. Okay, I'm going to. Uh, no, I think f3 is not working. For example, Veerabhadra says that f3 here, bishop into pawn, pawn into, then f3. No, instead of do, if you do f3, maybe it is unnecessary complications will come. What can you do now? What can you do? Yeah, this also looks good. What can you do now? Yeah, this is also working. You are right, Veerabhadra. This is also working. F3 is also working. Okay. See this. This is a Tal attack. Idea Tal used to play simple. His idea was to play B3, Queen F3, and long castle. Very rapid attack. Just Sicilian Scandinavian Tal always like this idea, a rapid attack on the opponent king with a B3, Queen F3 castle. And now, for example, he plays this. What else? Suppose you play bishop here, then Queen F3 will come. Idea, if you play knight, then knight into knight and d5 will come. And if you play queen here, you can play a3 also. You cannot take that knight because of queen trap. You can do a3. This is also possibility. This is possible, or you can even play knight b3 and b3 also. Anyway, so I'm coming to the game. b3. Now ready to long castle and attack. Now this. This is different from that line. The structure I showed you today, it is different because white has castled in that position. Now here, white could do long castle and try to attack. Now, long castle. Trying to attack, there are some problems. The king in the center, this is number one. The rook is not joining at the moment. Number two, there is only one target at the moment, one target. So presuming white black gets queen here and queen takes pawn, still king d2, no problem. Even if you get one tempo and take king d2 and rook d1, threat is there. That means you need to break the position. You need 3-4 moves. It is not easy. Pieces, insufficient pieces to attack. Bishop c4. So covered everything. Now there is no plan. No d5 is coming. So he wants to bring knight to c5 and do, or knight to b6 and attack. Threat. Knight d5 is a threat. This is the wonderful. Now, if you play pawn, there is some chances there. He will go back and then a5, a4 will come. So, this sort of pawn structure, very difficult for the player to attack. The king will be safe here and then you will play a5, a4, I will take it. So, the king is much safer in this kind of structure. I came to know about this pawn structure, the safety of king, in Fisher's book, 60 Memorable Game. My 60 Memorable Game, in Fisher says that in this kind of pawn structure, it is very difficult for black to attack. And even this was used by Johnny Hector. Grandmaster Johnny Hector used it against a line of Sicilian dragon also. This is also important thing. Now there is no attack on the white king possible easily. There is no easy attack. And white plan is very clear. White has ready-made pawns to roll. Ready-made pawns. The rooks are free. The bishop is, everything is working. So this is okay. Now the whole game continued. Now the whole game continued. Queen coming. Anything is bad. Now you should have gone back. Maybe it is. You should have gone back to meet the threat. He goes there. Now the threat is to, immediate threat is coming. The idea is to go, just open up. The idea is to play some h4, h5 and then this like that. There is a problem. You can't close it. You can't close it. Okay. What should do? Ah, what to do? Naman Goenka says g6. First to take. Naman Goenka, if you play g6, the problem is you will get pawn into pawn and rook into pawn. This is the problem. Pawn into pawn and now rook into pawn. There is no attack. And if you play now bishop into pawn will come. This is so. It is not. You first take the pawn. If you take it, it is very easy. If you take the pawn, then queen check will come. G6 will come. So he goes now g6. Now g6 because you cannot capture pawn into pawn, and after this rook into pawn will come. So this is a perfect timing. Pawn into pawn, rook into pawn. The rook is defending second rank. So he took the piece. It is a wrong decision. How should white continue now? Black has grabbed the piece, but black has to now be punished. No, no, no. This is okay. Black could have castle. There is nothing wrong in that. Hello, Devers. Welcome. Find out what should white do now. Can you tell what you are learning in brief? My plan is attack and counter attack. The topic is attack and counter attack. Now you can see black is prepared. I will tell you from beginning. If you have missed the class earlier, this is the one he comes for attack. You know his position here, queen castle, queen, now rook. This is trying to attack the king. So now before you attack, white also start. So it is like attack and counter attack. Both are trying to attack each other. Now the plan he plays. Now white black attack is slowed down. Now white will start. Now black again tries to do some activity. Now this. Now this is a fantastic move. If you play, then now this position, this risk is involved. The risk is involved. A5 will come, A4 will come. So here I told Fishers, you read the lot of good players comments. Fisher said you cannot attack easily against this kind of structure. And I even referred Grandmaster Johnny Hector played this in some variation of Sicilian Dragon. You know, this is good. So now the white attack is coming. Black has no counter attack available easily. Yeah, this square, all the queen is guarding. There is no check coming. The pawns are slowed down. The position virtually is winning, but you have to find the correct plan. Now, after you get a position, should not relax. So he played the correct move. After the move, this is winning now. Idea f6 and queen h6 will come. Now, counter attack. Finish. You cannot take that pawn. It will be a disaster. It will be a disaster. So, now you have to take force rather and the rook into. You cannot accept. You if you accept the pawn, queen into check, rook f1 check. No, rook f1 check is not coming, but it should win the game. So I think a check will come. And now how to win? Basically, because this check is ruled out, so this should not be issue now. How to win the game? What you do first? You play queen here. Idea, a discover attack. So he has to block. Now maybe you bring rook here. Now you defend this point. Defend this. So you have to come here, right? Now, I think this should win because you queen cannot take it. The queen cannot take it because of this. And now rook f1 check is coming. How are you going to stop it? This should win. The position should win. Now rook f1 check. Rook into pawn. Rook check should win the game. No, no. Rook f1 is you got bishop f6. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. I must find a way to finish this game. The check is necessary. Maybe this is just take man. One this is simplest. What I am missing. Simplest. Simplest. Now the attack will play. This is already material also up. White is exchange up with a open king, so it should win the game. So he cannot accept that. He cannot accept. Now in the game he plays pawn into takes. Now rook here. The point is now you this queen is watching the rook. Open games you come here you cannot take queen into rook will come. Rook here. Okay, the point is you cannot take it. Now this is bad. Now there is no attack. This is finished. Rook. Now if you take it, now if you take it, queen check is coming. Over. So you have no time to take. There is no time to take. I think this check we rook into. Now check. This check should win. This check should win the game. There is so many wins here. I think this check also winning. So in the game, he plays he check king. This is not going to work. Queen for two rooks, but very bad king position. And the pawn is alive on the board. Lost. So the tall attack is really good. This is very fast and furious. I like this f4 with the idea queen f3, b3 and castle for attack. Now one more tall attack I will show you. Nazar versus same idea. Queen f3, b3 and castle. Now the idea is simple. I want to play b3 and b3 and then castle. And I told you this is not a great move because I can play a3 and then you cannot take it. This is next move bd3 and b3 will come. So this is just bad. I think it turns out. So here he plays queen with the idea g5 and attack this. White has got some initiative already on the king side. If you can play also like this h4 and bs3. Before black has started, white ready. So black king cannot castle short now. As in the game, Anand and Kramnik, that white already got a huge tempo, lot of attack. I saw that game. Similar strategy. Now if you castle, the attack is unstoppable. If you castle, I am going to play this. Idea f6. And you come here, the queen will come. This is f6 is unstoppable. So this is dangerous. So in the game, rook b8. Now simple one move. Black has to work a lot. He has to come a5, a4, queen b3, knight coming is up. 6 moves. You cannot gain 6 moves and white will keep watching. Good move. Trying to attack. Now e5 is bad because you release pressure from the pawn, then this will have free hand. If you play e5, no more d5 possible and this becomes lethal. Idea, now the king will find a safety here. You come a5, a4, a3, king will come. Knight is defended at the moment. It is not a good move, but you cannot find anything better. Whatever you do, it is bad. It is bad. Just open line. In general consideration also it will work, but he has calculated properly because the d6 pawn. Now, what should white do? My question to you, what should white do? Mastery in the open lines. You need to get mastery in open line. You know, it is like suddenly, Sicilian, there is sudden fluctuation. It is like that, solar eclipse. Suddenly in the daytime itself become dark. Daytime, suddenly you will find total darkness. When solar eclipse is there, full. So abhi abhi didi tha, abhi abhi raat hai. So for example, now I give a checking here. The game changes. This and this unprotected. So what we will do? I want now. I want it. If I play directly, it will not work. If I play bishop here, you will get a bishop check, everything gone. But block it. Now bishop takes is ruled out because after the check, pawn into this check is finished. And if you play pawn into if you play pawn into now here e5, if you play pawn into then bishop will come. Double attack here and attack here. Game over, finished. So he plays here simple rook check and e5. He can resign here. Now bishop into pawn, take mate, pawn into bishop h6, and one cannot, during a game, a player cannot reconcile to resign immediately. They keep playing, but it is hopeless. Queen into, there is no point. Queen for a minor piece, it's all over. There is nothing. So the tall attack is a good one. I like against Kevin. Terrace attack is very good, but that is very complicated. So I recommend to you, all of you, practice tall attack. This is tall attack. Kevin, you play Queen F3 with the idea B3 and long castle. Very simple plan. Of course, black has lot of way, but yes, if I was correct, Divya and Devers, Goenka, all correct move. Let me go to the next one. I will tell you, देखो, I will show you a well-known opening line. Well-known. Check. This is just losing. This is just losing for black after d5. After this, simply it is hopeless. Knight here, the knight will be trapped, bishop d3, and knight here, e5 will come, kill him completely. So you have to give a check, only move. Now in c3, white is, black is good, clearly good. So bd2 is the only line. After bd2, this is the main theoretical line. bd2, nd2, d5, take. Now queen b3, this is coming. You play knight f5, knight c3, it is equal. Knight f5 check, queen a4, knight back. Black can repeat, but black can play for a win now because of the weakness. This is the main line. And next move c6 and castle c6, black is good because of weakness. But let us say a variation. When you play bd2, knight into pawn. It is possible. Now bishop into bishop, knight into, now bishop into pawn check. This is the main line. Takes queen check. Now it is, एक एक मूव में गेम का दिशा बदल जाता है. What can you do? There are only two possible moves. You can run away or you can play d5. आपको ये मूव है, you can play d5 और run away. दोनों में एक चॉइस करना है. What will you do? What is the correct move? Why king f8? Veerabhadra, you should not make a move without having a logic. आपको king f8 क्यों खेलना है? अभी every move has a logic. There is a big difference in king f8 and d5. Why king f8? The direction changes. The difference in king f8 and d5, whole game becomes different. What is the difference? Goenka says d5. So what is Veerabhadra idea king f8? No, no, no. The point is, whole idea, after the move d5, the bishop becomes bad. The knight gets a fantastic square here. After d5, knight gets a good square and the bishop becomes bad. So I will tell you the d5 move is inferior. Okay. In the game, he played king f8. What is the idea? Now the bishop is not bad, and after this the queen will come. If the idea discovery is there, so the end game there is no bad piece. There is no bad piece. And now this is okay. I will not put the pawn in black white square. This is okay. Now 3-2 majority. This 3-2 majority. The king is there, so no pass pawn possibility. In end game, suppose the king is here, then white can prepare to create a pass pawn. If the king is on c7, then there is a majority. But now that is king is a defender himself, so it is not easy. Exchange the bishop as superior than knight. Compared to the knight, the bishop is superior. Another, now the bishop is well placed and activity. Black stands better. There is no plan. You see, notice that knight is not having access to d5. Now the pawn is controlling this. The bishop is superior. There is no. So black has better game and black goes on to win the game. Now this position, he will open up. So everything changes in that move, at that particular move. So a critical moment in chess. Here, queen b3 check. Here, this point. So here, queen b3 check, king f8, with the idea that pawn is not blocking the bishop. This bishop is not bad, and he remained kept on making the bishop good. But let us examine d5. This becomes bad. White is now better. Let me show you one game. Let me show again. The 10th move takes, check, now d5. This turns out to be bad. Now the end game has come, but now black is left with a bad bishop comparatively. This is now the 3-2 majority. The king is unsafe. The king is fantastic knight. The king is unsafe now. Forced. Oh, whatever you do, it will start. It is something like what you call the Berlin defense of Spanish, the extra majority pawn and better position. And black is left with a bad bishop. This is the problem side. This is the problem side. कोई स्कोप नहीं है अभी. Regrouping pieces very nicely. Want to exchange the knight, and after that good night, bad bishop theme. The theme changing is he is not willing. अभी bad pieces है. The bad bishop लेके कहाँ जाएगा? The position is plus minus now. Just makes one repetition. Thereafter, he brings other knight. Now, this is clearly on top. Now the knight is vastly superior to the bishop. And the rooks are redundant rooks doing nothing. So this is the difference. A player at 10th move, you make one move, it becomes problem. 10th move, it becomes a problem. Because of this, everything becomes bad. So here on queen check, this was the correct move, not making d5 a weak point. I will show you a game, a position on 7th move. You make a pawn move that becomes a headache in endgame. In one game of Polugaski, I remember. I will show sometime. It will take time for me to search now. So I will show you sometime. An innocent looking move on seventh move or eighth move becomes a headache in end game. So this move became the real trouble because of this bishop. Okay, yeah. Next, I told you that Anand Kramnik, no. See the speed now, not in this variation. Now what is the correct move? Now normally a player like to play bishop d3 and thereafter he will play queen e2 and try to castle and attack. But this is what happened. White was Grandmaster Vasuko. White was Grandmaster Vasuko and black was Mikhail Tal. So they were playing the contemporary theory. Whatever theory was available that time. So white will like to play bd3, queen e2 and then e3 or long castle, whatever short castle. But modern theory that do not disturb the queen. It is badly placed, blocking his own pawn. Blocking his own pawn. So don't play be3. You play queen e2. Modern approach. Now need to play be3. Now you play come bishop. Okay. You take a3. Decide. You want to give me the bishop for nothing? Double bishop in an open position. So goes back. So castle. And now black is trying to develop, but then g4. So g5, h4, f4. It is like that. It is like that Sweetler's game. Or I just showed you that game that white has already ready-made position. Black has not started. White pawns are already fourth, fifth rank. Now this is decisive. There is nothing straight. F6. Before black could organize, white is ready to open up. Takes this, it is lost completely, lost. Finishing the game. Now he says that who is an annotator here? I don't know who is annotator. He says that bishop f6 deserves attention, but after this king h8. I don't think it is. I don't know who is annotator here, but I don't agree with that. This will be holding the position. For example, let us say the model game. Let us say I want to see where the knight is going. There, knight is coming. So first you bring the rook with the idea. Now I want to come and exchange and enter on the g5. The pawn is here to take the pawn because with the pawn takes away square from the rook, you know. So I want next plan. I want to come here and hit, and then queen g2. So how are you? Knight is pinned now. Knight cannot move. So move the knight. So you cannot take the pawn. And here there is an additional problem will come. So suppose you play here, then I will play something like queen to h5. Once again the threat is coming. So it is not so easy. Annotators play. Who is the annotator here? Who is annotator? I don't know. Anyway, it doesn't matter. So this attack is becoming lethal. Already he has got so many pawns advanced. All right, I leave this. I discussed this game with you already. Now some position. White to play. How should white continue? I liked the original concept of attack. Original concept of attack. Every world champion has contribution for chess. both theoretical and practical. For example, Gary Kasparov has written lot of chess books, fantastic chess books, and Alekhine has written lot of books. You know, Karpov has written. All world champion have their contribution theoretical. Fischer has written. In fact, Fischer wrote lot of books but did not publish. He published only two books. One book for a beginner, that is because he got some, he needed some money. So publisher he wrote, and My 60 Marble Game. Millions copies are sold of My 60 Marble Game. Now, Fischer wrote many other books which he did not publish because when he became world champion, he said that books are of lower standard. I wrote the books when I was not world champion. So a fantastic books he did not publish. It's a pity. Now, Capablanca was a great, but he was very lazy, like me, very lazy person. Did not write. So there are world champion have made contribution. Anand made lot of contribution. He has made some literary contribution, some video, but he has showed the world many new concept of attack, idea, and even the positional method, defense. Here, Anand shows a brilliant attack, new concept. What to do now? So, since Birabhadra has seen all this, okay, good that you don't tell. Please go ahead and tell me how should White play? I give you a hint. I give you a hint. At the moment, the rook it is ready to come here. Zaitsev variation, this is one of the main idea. Royal apply Zaitsev variation, the rook come to a3, then always rook comes to third rank. And now this rook at the moment doing nothing, this rook is also ready to come here. That means he will have pressure on the line. That means there will be terrific pressure on the line. And the king can simply slip to h2 or h2, h2, this, any of the places. Any of the places. So, Anand makes, yes, Goenka, you are right. Knight d4, rook is ready, and knight will enter now. Now, the rooks are ready to come. Rooks are ready to come. Black's counterplay is slow. Now he comes here. Now Black's counterplay, he will pawn push and pawn push. It is slow. Rook, and now knight f6. If you play pawn push, if you play, I am going to take it. Bishop takes pawn, rook into, then rook into, sorry, bishop into pawn. What you did to rook into, knight into, queen into, and now simply rook coming. And on pawn into, this is coming. Just king. You cannot do anything. He is helpless simply. This simple threat is king h1. And if you play queen into pawn, he will play maybe here queen into queen and then move the king. So this is simply too much. Two rooks are coming. And a very good idea. The idea rook g1 and move the king, even though it is not open at the moment. So this idea fails. In the game, he played rook and now knight h6. Fantastic. So you cannot do anything. So he tries to cover up. Another brilliant move. Now the queen is watching the bishop indirectly. You cannot take the pawn, it will lead to mate. So place pawn into pawn. Now knight here. Idea queen into bishop mate. Now what else? The double attack. King cannot defend. Only move. Then queen filters to f7. Now take the rook and enter. Once again mate. Now if you come here, this check, and now this is finished. This should be finished. So the whole point is that whatever you do, the attack is coming. You cannot accept that. And here you cannot accept that. You cannot accept this. This is simply not possible. Now the idea he wants to make a room, trying, but then rook queen coming, avoiding. King moves to h1. If you take it, take and king h1. Okay. So rook into c2 is ruled out. Finish. If king h7, rook g7, check is finishing. So here he plays rook. Idea, if you move the king, I am going to exchange the rook. But I will not allow the rook exchange. This will not going to work. Anyway, the attack is unstoppable. Now, G line here stopped but temporarily. But for queen and rook, the only move. Knight into f7 mate. Bishop into is ruled out. Queen h6 mate. And now there is a mate threat. Lost. A brilliant attack by Viswanathan Anand. Well deserved world champion. This is also instructive. Very instructive. How should black play? White is a very strong grandmaster. How should black play here? White king is exposed. Exposed position of the white king compared to black. And this check is coming any moment. The main thing is the power of the piece must be unleashed. You have to open the position. For example, this is, looks bad. This is position looks very bad for white, and this looks very bad for white. So this is bad and this is worse. That means you need to open the line for the bishop. Opening the line. This open. Losing a pawn piece doesn't matter. Just open. So he comes here. Now you need to open further. Now what to do now? This point is guarded. Knight, queen is guarding this point. But you open further for the piece. More opening line. Or open. Okay, your king is now exposed. But there is no white piece is attacking the king. The king is comparatively safer. This king is really gunned. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Whereas white has no such piece to harass the black king. And if you open up, the line will open for F line. So he plays pawn into pawn. This is more or less forced. Very well played. Very energetically played by Sahu. So he accepts the pawn. What else? Takes that. He goes here. Now I will tell you attack and defense. At the moment, the things are very bad looking for white. But what should white do now? I flip the board. Now onus on you. What should white do? The point is now many times opponent will try all everything. They will throw all the pieces for attack. But you know you should not crack. At the moment, the bishop is watching the square. Watching the square, and you see you can operate on this line black. You close this. For example, Grigori played this bad move. Idea attacking the rook, and I gain time, and after that I will switch for exchanging pieces. But actually, this is the move which should have given equality. Now, for the time being, both these files are closed. Black cannot operate because both the files are blocked. So white gets time to organize a defense. We may lose the pawn. That is a matter of time, two, three moves. But white will gain those two, three moves to bring his pieces for the defense. I mean, a rook can come to a3. You have time. But instead of playing g4, this would defend. For example, a model variation. He will play rook to attack the pawn. Now he will come queen to coming to enter into the area. But then I will play rook. He will bring queen, but I am here. The position now everything looks all right because lot of exchanges will take place. By that time, rook and bishop is gone from the board. You go rook into rook. The position everything is it is not that easy. Now black king is also exposed. Not so easy. Queen into pawn, then end game is forced. Queen into pawn, queen exchange, and the rook ending is not that easy. That means a player must not lose his nerves. Play with extraordinary calmness. Your nerves should be cool. Iron nerves चाहिए चेस के लिए. You need iron nerves. G4 would have defended. G4 defended. Queen G4 take check. Now this is defense. But in the game, this is not so good. Though it is turned out to be bad. Now turn out to be bad. अभी ये नहीं चलेगा. The things are out of control. So he played the move exchange. अभी गया गेम. अब तो गया. दिशा बदल जाता है. The whole thing is one move, everything is changed. Now white is very bad. King pieces are not good. Lost. Okay, I go to the next game. White to play. White to play. It is Timman versus Pickett, both from Netherlands. So Timman was a great player of Netherlands. He was in top 10 and was a very long time. He was considered a challenge. After Fischer, there was no player to challenge Russian hegemony, Russian supremacy. But then Timman also faded away. Then Pickett came up very fast to the top. So they decided to make a match, Timman Pickett, which Timman won. But anyway, let's see this game. White should play. What should White do? I make some moves because time is running out. Timman played knight. Now black played this bad move. The position is not so bad, but this bad move is bad. After king h7, the things are in control. After king h7, the position still defendable. It's not so easy. But young players know they like to play sharply, and now the knight check king. And after that, destruction, complete destruction. So you cannot decline that piece. Suppose you decline, then knight will, if you go, knight f7 will come, and if you go here, still knight f7, knight g5. So you cannot decline. So the check unexpectedly the table turn. You cannot play bishop g king h7. ये तो खत्म हो जाएगा. खत्म हो जाएगा ये. डायगोनल पे कोई डिफेंस नहीं आएगा. h8 पे खत्म हो जाएगा. So the only move. But then queen h5 and then this is winning. Now the position is king is now brought to the center of the board and he will not be able to defend. Not defend. You cannot move the bishop also. That is lost. You can't move queen f3 will win. So winning the game. Material equal but a position that black king is terribly placed. Queen e4 check threatened now. Finish. Queen f3 will come now. So a careless move. Everything was looking normal, but after this, king h7, everything looks okay. King h7. This position here, no. Here, king h7. Here, the position is not that easy. Not that easy. Because now this attack will not come. There is no check coming. Knight into pawn will not work now. So here, this bad move and finished. Okay. I have got some 2-3 more positions also. In the afternoon session, I want to know, there is a mixed students are there. There are some students which are around below 1500 and for them I need to show some positions. In the afternoon, I will show many positions for them also, which is also useful for the little advanced intermediate players. the position, the themes will be also useful for the intermediate player. And given time, I will cover maybe not Sicilian today, tomorrow. How to play Sicilian defense, some variations. There is sharp lines. Maybe tomorrow. Today afternoon, I will discuss mainly positions for players who are about 15, 1600. They need to know lot of positional things. And that will be anyway useful for the intermediate player. There is no harm in revision. And they can also learn certain things which they have missed. Okay, in this particular question, white is Mikhail Tal, black is Okopian. So Tal is ever creative. Wow, how can white play now to take the initiative further? How should white play? Hello, Akshar Jhala. Okay, Virabhadra Sindh again. Queen. Idea, I want to bring the rook and then give check. This is the point. Now I'm getting a tempo. Now I'm attacking the bishop. Gaining a tempo. This is the point. And now suddenly the white has got life now. From nowhere, Tal created a position. नहीं चलेगा अभी. Okay, now the idea, the pawn is falling, so counter attack. So he stops it. Now he pushes. There is no time. Now there is no time for pawn into pawn. And there is no time for pawn push also. There is no time because queen will come. With the idea, now rook check is coming. The queen. No time. No time for h6. So he has to play move like rook into. But then queen check. Abhi, if you take pawn into, the queen check is coming. But queen check. Queen comes with a check. Check. Game over. Over. So the whole point is that Tal played the move with a tempo. The main idea, he had this resource. He had this resource. This is the point. Karthik Kasari, right? In plan. Okay, next one. Bent Larsen is white. Jan Christiansen. What should white to play? Again, action. The actions. What should white do? You know, when you have got a good position, a Russian knight bitaya either. You have to do some activity. Yes, Virabhadra correct. Rook into because the rook is waiting to come here. So rook into. तो वो मारेगा, नहीं तो क्या करे, पिच डाउन है, मारेगा, फिनिश. Now black try to defend, counter. This is also losing. If you do rook check, will win the game. If you give 8th rank, check, rook check and queen 8. So only move, counter attack. But then all over. And now rook check and a mating attack will come. Mating attack will come. You have many plans, but this is the best plan. Idea now only move. If you play f5, b5 is coming, and knight is now established with a leisurely attack will come. Over. Idea now the queen will come here. Open line. Khatam. So you have no time to play f5, which is giving a free hand to the knight. After the move f5 is ruled out, the knight is established. So you have to play suppose h6 now. No, h6 also loses. Now this will win. How I'm going to win? Maybe here. Maybe queen will come. I think this should win the game. No, 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 no. No, 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 no. Rook attacked and finish. You cannot take the rook, and queen d4 is coming. So this is also lost. Whatever you do, it is bad. So here in the game, he played rook g8, check and finish. After this, the mate is unstoppable. Mate is unstoppable. This check is coming, this check is coming, and queen into knight check, and again you will come, knight back again. You cannot come mate. You come here, queen check, knight check mate. Queen check and knight h6 mate. Come here mate. So activity should go on, but don't try activity when there is no coordination. I guess one more position I have selected. I'll show you. I'll show you one more position. No, I think it's a game. So, okay, friends. So I will see you again back at 2:30 in the afternoon. I will keep lot of positions, which is positionally also technically it is useful information. So I will see you at 2:30. तब तक सबको मेरा नमस्कार. Take care.